Hey, second grade friends. Today we are on page 385 and we'll be going to page 388. So we're going to be doing two math pages today, so buckle down and get ready. Our math goal is I will measure lengths in inches, feet, and yards, and I will make reasonable estimates to solve problems. First, we're going to be making those reasonable estimates. What does that exactly mean? Well, let's look up at the top here on page 385. It says Gwen has a pencil that is about 4 inches long. So that's saying this is about 4 inches long, which is the most reasonable estimate for the length of her ribbon. So if her pencil is 4 inches long, would the ribbon be 3 inches? No, that's not reasonable. That means the ribbon would be shorter than her pencil. Is it reasonable to say 6 inches? Well, they think it is. Why would 6 inches be more reasonable than 10 inches? Well, the ribbon is a little longer than the pencil. So 6 inches is the most reasonable estimate. Here it says 3 inches is not reasonable because that would be shorter. And the ribbon is not twice as long as the pencil, so 10 inches is not reasonable. Makes sense. Let's do number 1 together. The yarn is about 2 inches long, so this is about 2 inches. Circle the best estimate for the length of the crayon. Well, if I'm looking at this here, it looks like the ribbon is about half of the crayon. So if this is 2 here, that means if I double it, 2 plus 2 is 4 inches. Number 2, the string is about 5 inches long. So this is about 5 inches. Circle the best estimate for the length of the straw. So we know it has to be shorter than 5 inches because the straw is shorter. So it could not be 6 inches. But this is about halfway, and half of 5 is 2.5. So the straw must be longer than 2.5 inches. So 3 inches would be reasonable. Let's keep going on the back. Number 1, the rope is about 4 inches long. So this is 4 inches. Circle the best estimate for the length of the paperclip. Is the paperclip longer than this here rope? No, the paperclip is shorter, and it looks like the paperclip is about half the length of the rope. So 2 inches would be the best estimate. Number 2, the pencil is about 6 inches long. Circle the best estimate for the length of the chain. Well, if the pencil is 6 inches, the chain looks like it's longer. And 7 inches is the only one that's longer. So that would have to be the reasonable estimate. I'm going to read these ones, but I want you to do them by yourself. The hair clip is about 3 inches long. Circle the best estimate for the length of the yarn. The hair clip is shorter than the yarn. It's 3 inches. What's a good estimate for the yarn? Pause if you need to. I'll read number 4. Number 4, the ribbon is about 5 inches long. So this is 5 inches. Circle the best estimate for the length of the string. The ribbon is longer than the string, so 6 inches won't do. Which one is a better estimate, 4 or 5 inches for that string? You can pause if you need to, but I'm going to move on to page 387. Please take out 387. This is where we're measuring length in inches, feet, and yards. But, we don't actually have all those measuring tools. So we're just going to talk about them right now before we jump ahead. You can measure the length of short objects in inches. So objects that are pretty short, like my marker, I would measure that in an inch. You can measure distances and lengths of longer objects in feet or yards. So you measure a football field in yards because that would take a long time to measure, inch by inch or even foot by foot. Notice on my ruler, how many inches are there? Inches are the larger one. We see that there are 12 total inches in 1 foot. Kind of cool. And in a yard, there's 3 of these feet. That's a lot to remember. Just remember that an inch is the smallest of these 3 to measure. Then it's a foot. There's 12 inches in a foot. And then there's 3 feet in 1 yard. All right, since we don't have all of these different tools to measure, we're not actually going to be worrying about the measuring side. We're just going to choose the unit that we would measure in. Think about a chalkboard or a whiteboard at school. That takes up over half the front of our classroom. So would you measure that in inches, in feet, or in yards? Definitely not inches. That would take a long time. Feet would be okay to measure it in, but yards would be our best option because chalkboards or whiteboards are quite long. How about the map? We have a small map hanging in the back of our classroom. Would that be best to measure in inches, feet, or yards? Inches could work, but I think feet would be a better option. Last one on this page, how about a paintbrush? A paintbrush is probably about as long as my marker, which is shorter than a foot. I would measure that one in inches for sure. Now what I want you to do is the back. Remember, we're not worrying about measuring. I just want you to choose the units you would measure in. But if you happen to have a ruler at your house or a yardstick, you can go around and measure things. It's kind of fun. How big is your bedroom? How long is your kitchen table? See what you can measure. Let me know if you have any questions.